So today we're diving into a story about a man whose greatest gift, well, it also happens to be his greatest curse. I want you to just imagine that for a second. What if you could truly see inside everyone you met? And I don't just mean empathizing. I mean really seeing it all. The hidden wounds, the secret loves, the quiet desperation. Seriously, what would that do to you? And what on earth would it do to your relationships?
Well, to explore that very question, we're going to meet our subject, a cook named Eli.
So on the surface, Eli is, well, he's the definition of unassuming. He works in a factory canteen, a place full of routine, fluorescent lights, the whole deal. He's quiet, he's incredibly present, and he moves with this kind of simple attention that, honestly, people find it a little unsettling. See, he's not detached. It's the complete opposite. He's almost too present. In this right here, this quote just brilliantly illustrates the whole mystery of Eli. His colleague Magda, she just hits the nail on the head. His strangeness, it isn't a deficiency, it's an excess of something. It's not that he's broken, it's that he's whole in a way that, frankly, the rest of the world just isn't.
So, what is this wholeness they're talking about? Okay, this is where we really get to the heart of who Eli is.
The concept has a name. It's called permeability. And that's just a fantastic word for it, isn't it? It means the boundaries between him and other people, they're practically non-existent. He's not just guessing what you're feeling. He literally experiences your inner world as if it's his own.
And what he sees, it's just profound. We're not talking about just sensing moods here. No. He sees the specific, secret pains people carry with them every day. The bruise a woman is trying to hide, the guilt of a secret affair, the soul-crushing despair of a young woman who feels totally trapped. He sees all of it. And he sees it just by, handing them a bowl of soup.
Okay, and here's the really crucial point. This isn't some superpower he could just turn on and off whenever he wants. It's just how he's wired. It is a constant, unfiltered flood of human experience that he has to navigate every single moment of every single day.
So, you're probably thinking, wow, a guy this perceptive must have the most incredible relationships, right? Well, that's where we get to the central tragedy of his story.
You see, his openness, it's like a beacon. People, especially women who are carrying deep wounds, they're just drawn to him. Why? Because for the first time in their lives, they feel truly seen. But here's the twist. That exact same quality, that beautiful openness, inevitably becomes the poison that kills the relationship. And it happens over and over again in this predictable, absolutely heartbreaking pattern. It goes like this. First, a woman recognizes this unique safety in him. Then comes the connection. She starts sharing things she's never told another soul. But then comes the misunderstanding. She mistakes his universal presence for a special kind of love that's meant only for her. And that leads right into possession. She starts trying to own his attention, getting resentful of his openness to other people. And finally, the whole thing collapses because you just can't own a person like Eli. Just listen to this quote from a former lover of his, Anna. It perfectly captures that moment where the misunderstanding turns into real resentment. She's basically saying his gift of presence, it should be hers and hers alone. And if everyone gets it, then what's so special about it? Its value is totally diminished in her eyes.
And what's crazy is the pattern repeats almost word for word. A more recent partner, Mira, says basically the exact same thing. So this isn't some one-off problem, right? This is a fundamental conflict between Eli's very nature and what we typically expect from romantic love.
So think about it. The very quality that felt like a safe harbor in the beginning, his incredible ability to just hold space for them, eventually starts to feel like a betrayal. It's like they fall in love with his boundlessness and then immediately try to build a fence around it. It just doesn't work.
And this brings us to a really powerful metaphor for what's happening here. Eli is a mirror. Being with him doesn't just show you who he is, it reveals who you are. His presence reflects back all your own stuff, your insecurities, your possessiveness, your deepest needs. And a lot of the time, people just can't stand to look at that reflection.
So how does a person even survive this? I mean, how does Eli live with this constant flood of emotion and this repeating pattern of loss? Well, he has to. He develops a pretty unique philosophy.
And this, right here, is the core insight that pretty much saves him. He learns to identify not with the feelings themselves, the grief, the pain, the joy, but with the awareness, the consciousness. He sees himself as the space in which all those feelings arise. It's really the only way he can witness everything without being completely destroyed by it. And from that one core insight, a few key principles start to emerge for him. He fundamentally believes that separation is just an illusion, that we're all connected. He believes presence isn't like a pie you can slice up and then run out of. He knows openness can't be rationed or put on a budget. And maybe most importantly, he understands that trying to dim himself just to make someone else feel more comfortable, well, that would be a kind of spiritual death for him.
And I think this is a really key distinction to make. This isn't detachment. It's not that he doesn't care. It is the absolute opposite. He cares so much, he feels so much, that this philosophy is literally the only way he can stay standing. It's a survival mechanism forged in the fire of his own nature.
Which, of course, brings us to the central question of the whole story. Given his unchanging nature and this deeply destructive pattern, is Eli just doomed to be alone forever?
Well, this is where Lucia enters the picture, and she represents a new possibility. She's older, she's already been through a profound loss of her own, and she seems to have this level of self-awareness that Eli's previous partners just didn't have. Crucially, she isn't looking for a savior. And the difference between her and his last partner, Mira, is absolutely crucial. Where Mira approached him with this desperate hunger, looking for him to fill her emptiness, Lucia's hunger is tempered. She's already learned how to live with her own loneliness, her own inner space, and that means she might not need to completely consume his.
But, and this is the heartbreaking reality of it, even with Lucia, who is by far the most promising partner he's ever had, those old fears start to creep back in. The jealousy, the desire for him to be a little less available to others, the resentment. It just goes to show you how powerful these wounds can be, and that sometimes awareness alone isn't enough to break the cycle. And so, the story leaves us with this final, really powerful question to think about in our own lives. Is love about finding someone to fill your space, to complete you and fix your emptiness? Or is it about doing the work to become whole on your own, so that you can simply meet another whole person in the space between you?